I've tested out a ton of different apps in the gig economy. I started off driving for Lyft and Uber. That was actually before I made any videos. Then I was moving with Dolly. I've delivered with Amazon Flex quite a bit. I've worked with Instacart, Shipped, Grubhub, DoorDash, Postmates, Uber Eats, just about all of the big platforms. Now, out of all of those apps, I've been deactivated. I made a big video about my deactivation from Amazon Flex, and I was kind of upset about that one because that was a really good side hustle for me. I was earning some really decent income, and I was feeling a little bit desperate when I got deactivated. I didn't know what to do. I did have other stuff going on, but I really liked having Amazon Flex as kind of an income stream on the side. And it's during times like that, when you're feeling really desperate right after getting deactivated, that you start making the worst decisions. So here's what you need to avoid doing if you get deactivated. And this is from any platform. I'm talking Instacart, Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Postmates, Amazon Flex. Make sure you avoid doing this. So the obvious thing to avoid doing would be getting mad at support and yelling at them, demanding that you get reactivated. Now, I can totally understand why you would do this, because a lot of drivers are getting deactivated for pretty bad reasons. Some of us aren't even getting explanations. Sometimes it's something like a speeding ticket that was like 3 or 4 years ago before you were ever driving or delivering, something that one of these companies like DoorDash, Instacart, Uber might have just kind of overlooked initially, and then all of a sudden they just decided that this was a reason to deactivate you, a reason to push you off the platform. That can be frustrated, and your first instinct might be to kind of yell at support. But what you need to do is be as calm as possible. Think about why exactly you were deactivated, how you can improve, and how you can convince the gig app that fired you that you are improving. And also, gathering as much evidence that you are a strong driver, whether that's looking at your reviews, your ratings, and what you can do to kind of persuade them to let you back onto the app. Now, yelling at them is not going to help this. If anything, it's going to hurt your case. Support can actually get you deactivated just for being kind of a dick to them. So if you do this after getting deactivated, it's definitely not going to get you reactivated. But there was a bigger reason why I decided to make this video. There's actually an even worse mistake that you can make after getting deactivated. So I've been seeing these comments pop up on my YouTube videos. Every video that I post, I get at least 2 comments that recommend checking out Kelvin Hack 012 on Instagram or contacting him via WhatsApp to get you reactivated if you get deactivated. Definitely do not fall for this trap. This is a very desperate time, and you don't want to be getting scammed out of more money after you get deactivated, because you're not going to be making as much income, so you can't afford to be getting scammed by someone like this. And the scam is really quite simple. So this guy has a bunch of fake YouTube accounts, and he posts a picture of, usually it's some chick in the profile picture. He has a ton of fake emails to set up new YouTube accounts every time that one gets deactivated. And then he runs some sort of software on his computer. There's a bunch of different social media softwares that essentially let you do a ton of spam comments. It lets you friend people, subscribe people, but this guy is strictly spam commenting. And my guess is that I'm not the only channel getting hit by these, that basically every single gig economy channel is seeing a ton of this spam. And no matter how much I mark that spam button on these comments, they continue to come back. So my worry is that my subscribers, if they are in a position where they've been deactivated, which is all too common these days, are going to be desperate, and they're going to reach out to this guy and get scammed for even more money. Please do not fall for this trick. There are, however, some measures that you can take if you're worried about deactivation. And one of those would be simply applying to as many different gig apps as possible. That way, if you get deactivated from one, you have the other. You definitely have some sort of source of income. This is probably the best approach that you can take. But there's also some extra types of protection that you can get. And one of those is from Cover. They actually offer some deactivation protection. I have a link for a free trial. You can test it out down below. There's a bunch of different features on the app, so that deactivation protection is really just one of them. And they partner with Legal Rideshare to kind of help you out. If you are deactivated, they write a letter for you. They really fight for your case. And they'll actually pay you some income while you're deactivated if you're no longer able to work. So this is a huge win for drivers that are willing to pay for this extra protection. And like I said, just getting multiple gig apps on board, having as many of these as you can possibly get on your phone, is the way to go. A lot of these are pretty easy to apply for. There's always different apps If you've been delivering, you can be shopping, or you can work for one of the many other delivery apps. You can start moving, and this actually pays really well, and you don't necessarily need a car for this. I worked with Dolly, and I actually didn't have a truck. I just worked as a hand, so I would help people move stuff. It paid pretty well, and the tips were fantastic. There's always opportunities out there and other stuff that you can be doing to kind of diversify, because unfortunately, these deactivations are becoming all too real, and they're happening all too often.